Hello everybody and God bless. So I had this wonderful and amazing dream a couple of weeks ago showing me that I had another ability, but also showing me something that I have been seeking God on for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys listen to that video, and after it I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys what I've been seeking God on and what he is leading me to do. Have a nice one.
I had a dream and I was at a job and I knew the people who worked there, and so there was a parade that was going by outside, and some of my managers at the job were taking out trash, and there was some it was a whole different building, but for some reason there was stairs and the trash was super heavy. And so I asked my managers, because I was standing right there, because I heard the music from the float, and I was like, wait, that's the same music that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders do their signature dance to, and I haven't heard it in years. And so I was like, I think that's it. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's it. And I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the actual parade. I wanted to see what was going on. And so I was like, can I help you with the trash as I'm standing right here? And she said, yeah, sure. And then I looked down the street and it was really beautiful. I didn't see the float because it was the end of the float. I didn't see it at all. I looked out and it was completely, the street was completely empty. But I think you could see the back of it or something. Actually, I don't know. But all of a sudden I was thinking, I was like, wow, it'd be so cool if I could go down there. And I thought I was driving. And as I was going, these groups of kids had just crossed the street. And I was like, they should have a stop sign or stoplight here, because what if I didn't stop? And that's when I realized I'm not in a car. And it looked I think the place is called Little Italy or something, when there was tons of little shops and the road is all I think that's what it's called. But it was a whole bunch of tiny little shops, and it didn't look like anything in America I can think of. There's probably somewhere in America like this, but anyways, so once I realized I wasn't in a car, all of a sudden my vision just went a lot faster, and I could just see really fast, because I really was I want to see if the cheerleaders are doing what they do in floats. And sure enough, when I got to the end, I was able to see them, and they were doing their little walk or whatever, when they put their arm out and it just goes up and down, or doing a walk. And so when I saw that, I was honestly, I don't even really care. And I looked in front of me, and there was this beautiful building, and it was waterfalls. You know how there's columns on a building? No, these were literally waterfalls. And I remember thinking, I was well, if I was able to actually, whenever I actually get off work and I can get in my car, it would be cool to drive over here. So I have to remember, because the whole building was beautiful and I want to see the building. And then I was like, this is really cool. So it's I was noticing a new ability. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I can go anywhere. I can just go up, because my vision was still going fast, and I was literally about to go right into the building. I was like, I can go up. And as soon as I thought I can go up, all of a sudden I started going into the sky. And in the dream, my eyes were wide open. I was like, wow, it'd be so cool to see heaven. And I just kept going up and up and up and up. And all of a sudden, the clouds, I could see the clouds. And then the clouds turned into this silky white. And there was little stars in the silky white. And it was really, really bright, really nice. And I went into a room that was a library. And it was all history of the Bible. And it was all these different, it looked like a museum. And there was people there that were working, that were still writing down stuff. And the dream was zooming in on certain things on the wall. And I was like, this is an amazing ability. And that's when I realized, I was like, my eyes are open. I was like, I'm having an open vision right now. And I was thinking this would be so cool to post. Guys, I'm having an open vision. And then all of a sudden the vision started to disappear. And even in the dream, I started crying. I was like, I don't want this to go, because it was so amazing. I was I didn't realize I was dreaming until I woke up. But in the dream, I thought I was wide awake, having an open vision. And I was like, this is such a powerful open vision. I've never had an open vision this long. And this is so cool. And literally anything I thought, I was like, I can zoom in. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that. I can see it. And I could read everything that was like on the walls, and it was showing me like there was a document that had the names of everyone, and it was like written in, like, you can tell it was written on there, but right underneath it was printed in like their actual names, so I could actually see it. But I think that was it. But yeah, the vision is like, it started disappearing it went from my left eye to my right eye. And right when I woke up, I still saw a little bit in my right eye. And then, and then I was like, I don't want this to disappear. And all of a sudden in my left eye, I could see a tiny little hole, and I could look through it. And I can't remember what was through the little hole, but it's like the vision was allowing me to like see it a little bit longer.
Alrighty guys, so as you heard, that dream was fantastic. I was zooming through the scenes and everything like that, and in the dream, I do mention something about like Little Italy. To this day, I still haven't looked into it, but for some reason when I first woke up, I was like, Little Italy. So I don't know, but hopefully with the graphics and everything like that, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. And so basically what I've been seeking God on is whether or not what I applied for recently was his will. And also mainly, like, I felt led by him already immediately, but I was seeking him on making sure that me going this way is not going to turn my head from him. And so recently I've been accepted to college, and I'm going for one of the hardest degrees there is. And I wanted to just seek God and really make sure that going for this degree is not going to distract me from his will. And so the reason why this dream shows me that he is showing me that I'm going to focus on him is that in the dream it showed me everything. It showed me this beautiful town. I love walking down towns by myself. By myself is the best thing. And even in the dream it was by myself, and I was like, I want to go through these things by myself and explore. And it looked very nostalgic with the road, and how the road was like a brick road and all this stuff. And then I saw this building, and with the building, instead of columns, it was waterfalls. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to go there. I would love to go and look at that. And then I saw, the Dallas Cowgirl cheerleaders, or Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And I was seeing their little dance, and I was like, I saw all these things that, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, it would be cool to just look at, just to see like how they do it. Once I realized that I had this gift, I immediately was like, I want to go up. I didn't look back. I didn't look back at all. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, can I see heaven? And I immediately shot into heaven, and I was so happy. Now here's something. Like I said, I recently got accepted to college. I immediately told my advisor, I said, I hate history. I hate history classes. So the least amount of classes I can take, the better. And like far out. And sure enough, like, I'm not going to take it until like my 3rd or 4th year. And so the reason why I say that is because this room was a historical room, and I didn't care. I was like, I'm in heaven. Yes, I'm going to look at everything on here. Like, I don't like history, but I like his story. You know what I mean? And so I'm reading these walls, I'm seeing all this stuff, and it's history. But I didn't care. I didn't care what was going on back there. I didn't even care about that building anymore. Remember, like, I saw the building. It's like, I want to come back and see this. But the moment I was like, I can go to heaven, I didn't care about anything on the ground. And then when the vision started to disappear, I started crying, because I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go anywhere. Like, I'm okay with staying in this room, this history room, when I don't even like history, right? So, so that alone shows me, like, it doesn't, like, if it's heaven, God is calling, he's a knocking, I'm a coming. Okay. Like I said, I'm going into college. On top of that, I'm going to have to work a lot of hours, because I don't have a scholarship. I don't have grants or anything like that. Graduated 10 years ago. Thankfully, my grades back then, I'm able to skip past a couple of classes. And then also the first time I went to college, because of my grades, then I was able to skip some stuff. So I'm able to skip stuff, but still, this is 4 years of college. Like, don't know how I'm going to pay for it. And the reason why I say that is because the dream is showing me, like, okay, I have a job. The job is going to show that I'm going to be, like, I need the money. But I said, I don't care. I'm going to throw it all away. I don't care if I invest into college, and I go to college for 3 years, and I'm very close to getting my degree. If the trumpets are ringing, I'm a going. I don't care. And recently I was thinking that. I was like, how am I going to feel if Jesus came back? And I went to school for 2-3 years. And I thought about that. And I think I had this dream like a couple days after I thought of that. I can't remember the timeline exactly, but I remember it was soon. And the dream is answering that. Like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be happy. You're going to be joyful. And things like that. Because a lot of times we say stuff. Like I say, oh, I'm going to be really fine if Jesus came back in the middle of like my finals or whatever, right? But this dream was showing me like, yeah, you are going to be okay. And I wanted that confirmation. I don't want to just say it. I want to see it. And that dream was showing me that. And it was just so beautiful and so remarkable to see, to be able to grasp onto that, to be able to see that I had an ability, and an ability from God that too was just showing me like, it's like I got that ability. I didn't care about work at all. I literally walked out in the middle of shift, like I'm leaving. So yeah, so I really wanted to show you guys that. But I do want to say too, not only am I going to college, but Charity is also about to start school this year as well. So that's just on top of me like being extremely busy, but I definitely do trust in God. I trust that he's going to be there for me. You know, I'm a single mom about to go to college. My daughter is going to school. And the job that I have, I can only work at night. So I'm literally going to be like the entire day, just school, study, work, home. That's all my life is going to be. But I really do pray that God continues to use me as his vessel. Thankfully, starting in September, I will not have to do any schoolwork or work at all during Sabbaths. And I thank God for that I can observe that time 100% for him. And I do trust in him. I trust that he's going to be there for me. And I'm just really grateful for that. And I just know that if this is God's will, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. And if God continues to lead me, I plan to like, you know, come on here and just like give you guys, you know, some encouragement and things like that. But only if God is leading me. I'm not using this platform at all to like boost my views and things like that. I'm using it so that I can spread the word of God. And that's another thing that I do believe, that I'm so grateful that I feel like God is leading me to go back to school, because of the fact that my main thing is that I want to be able to reach people. I want people to look at me and say Jesus is there, you know, and just reach as many people as I can, because I do believe that he's coming back. That's why I'm going for this degree. This degree is going to help me to travel and to go all over the place. And I definitely pray and hope that I am meeting people that I can minister to, that I can talk to, and things like that. So that's all I want to say, guys. God bless you all. Have a nice one.
Heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of his spirit, washed in